Hi there, welcome to the Beaten Trail. In this episode, we take you down to Florida and we visit Hog Waller ATV Park and Campground. So after our trip to Tennessee, we helped Adrian move some stuff down to his new home in Florida. And while we're down there, we figured we would visit wherever we could to get some more park reviews. Unfortunately, state parks were closed due to damage, but Hog Waller was open, and we were there on a weekday, so we had the whole place to ourselves. We signed our waiver and inquired about management being around later for an interview, and we paid our fee and we were on our way to explore what Hog Waller had to offer. All right, thank you. All right, looks like we got the whole park to ourselves here at Hog Waller. $20 entry fee, so we're all set, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. We're at Hog Waller ATV Park, over 1,000 acres. We're going that way. So, if we don't come back, there's nobody else here anyway, it's me and Adrian. Well, the good aspect of having the park to ourselves was just that. We were able to film, get out and see the trails and the mud and how deep it might be. But the negative part of that is, well, we don't get to see all the truck races and the mud bogs and how busy and how crowded it gets and how they really handle all that as an operational facility with that many riders and guests. But we did speak with management, and they do have quite a lot of goings on a regular basis, and the weekends, they have some weekends which are open 24 hours, which means night rides, so that's always got to be fun. But we will try to show you a little bit about the park, but just understand it is not everything that Hog Waller offers, and we'll try to explain a little bit more of that as well.
I think there's 56 RV sites, water and electric. We got dump stations. There's 2 bathhouses, and then the restaurant, and then we have the parts room, or parts house, then we have the general store.
So the hurricane had come through about a week earlier, and there was still a lot of higher water levels no matter what. And you didn't have to be in an ATV park to realize that, yes, some of the water would be deeper than normal. So we were a little apprehensive when we were going into these bogs, since the last time Adrian was here was probably over 10 years ago. Now there are some much deeper pits in the back of the property, and you may see them listed as a gator hole, or maybe you'll see some cans up in the trees, but just be aware that there are some areas that are extremely deep and will totally submerge your ride. But we had a great time. The mosquitoes were to a minimum, although I did have some bug spray on me, so maybe that helped. And it was just a great temperature and a great time to be there. And we highly recommend that you go explore and just make sure you know where your intake is, because at least on the R-Maxes we have at least 2 feet of clearance when it comes to not ingesting any water. But it was a great time, and the trails are amazing, even though some trees were down. You will find a variety of trails here, and some are high speed, some are slow and swampy. When, like I said, we did have a few trees that were down, so keep aware. When you're coming around a turn at a faster speed, you may run into something along those lines. But we did have an awesome time exploring, and you will find the sand pits. Now, of course, you all have to go spinning around in the sand pits, or what fun would it be? At this point, we wanted to find the far end of the property, so we followed our map, and you can see most of these trails on Onyx, but we wanted to just find how far the property went back, and we understand it may only be a few miles wide and deep, but it seemed so much larger. And it was just an awesome time, and I do have to say I can't wait to get back down to Florida forests, because they're just a unique experience that, well, much like the Northeast, you don't get to see all that swamp and mud. And again, the mosquitoes, they really weren't that bad, and I was actually kind of surprised at that. Adrian was filming as well, and I saw a couple times, well, he was going to try to fit in through some of these trails, and not that we got lost, but maybe we were off the beaten trail a little bit. No matter what the season, we recommend you get to Hog Waller and do some exploring. You will be pleasantly surprised at the variety of trails here, and as well as the amenities.
We're open 7 days a week.
Yep.
Trails are open 9 to 5. Cabins available.
Weekends.
2 bathhouse. Doors usually open on Saturday. I mean, all through the week through Saturday. Sunday on the event weekend, the store's always open. But on an off weekend, that we call off weekend, which is a 9 to 5 deal, we close down at 5. Sundays the store is open. If the hog trough is not open, we usually have the pizza guy. There's a guy called Force Motorsports. He rents buggies out.
Okay. Cool.
He's from actually down in Fort Myers, and he brings buggies down on the events. Or if you schedule it, he'll bring it that weekend.
Okay.
But yeah, they're available.
At Pine Grove Yamaha for sales and service of Yamaha and all other rides. Thank you, Anthracite Outdoor Adventure Area, for supporting the Beaten Trail. Appreciate all our partners. Thank you very much for being along for the ride. Visit our stores for hats and shirts and so much more. We appreciate you watching, and we hope to see you out there on the trail. Thanks.
We're going off the beaten trail. We're going off the beaten trail.
So, if you don't hear from us from a couple days, we're in the mud. Here's a little wheel damage for you. Look at this sucker. Holy cow. Well, Kayla, that just means it's time for a new set.